I'm feeling evil as hell. I'm a villain, so I'm evil and shit. Remember that? I've come to take over the manga industry with my plan, Operation Purge Star Sagas, a fantastic manga made by me and Issa Diallo about an ex-assassin who joins a universal military guild. And to start my evil plan, alright, enough of that shit. I can't do this no more, man.
I want to find myself. Ego's always telling me to move. Tell me who I am. I got something so much more to prove.
Look, I have been watching and reading a lot of manga and anime recently, right? A lot of this new shit, right? I'm talking about these new isekais and shit. And just some of the stuff that's come out after 2016 in general, right? In addition to that, I've been reading a lot of this indie manga, but I'm noticing a trend. Villain designs are trash nowadays. Oh no, I'm dead ass serious. You see, back in the day, we used to have characters.
But don't you
like,
be saying no back in the day, boy, you young.
What you mean I can't say back in the
I
day?
don't care about none of that, boy. I don't want to hear no back. Nah, you can't say it. I done said it.
Don't do me like
I done said it.
Listen, man. The point is, we had characters like Cell and Frieza. You know what I'm talking about, man. If any of us like Shaman King, then hey, the villain that crazy. You feel me? Some of the villains in that joint look like they really was stepping. Then we gotta go to Naruto. We not even gonna talk, man. Madara? Hey, the point is, villain designs used to be villain designs, right? They used to look intimidating, or they had an immense amount of presence to them. We don't have a lot of that nowadays. People just kind of take a generic dude with an evil mustache and say, villain. That's not a villain. That's a bad guy. You really want to make sure that you're trying to produce a presence with these villains, right? And by presence, I mean everything about them. I'm not just talking about the way they walk or the way they speak. No! Let's get into the drip check. You know what I'm talking about, man? Make sure that your villains look cool. Well, there's nothing wrong with a cool looking villain. A good part of presence is appearance. And a lot of people are lacking in appearance as far as manga nowadays and anime. Let's make sure that these villains really look up to par. Say this, for example. What if Cell looked like a businessman? Like, imagine you're 12 years old, you're standing at TV, you see this amazing villain about to come out, and then after Cell gets part from you, and then you see a dude with a tuxedo, and you're like, this is my perfect form. I'm evil, by the way. Yeah, that's when Dragon Ball Z would flop right there. It's over. It's done. It's done. I don't care about the father-son coming high. I don't care about stepping on Android 16 head. The design trash is not a villain anymore, all right? You're not a villain. You're a bad guy now. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care how good the character is, but the design matters, all right? A big part, especially as humans, you know, male audience, shonen, right? Visual creatures, okay? How many times have you played a video game for the first time, especially as a kid, and chose a character just because they look cool? How many times have you seen a scary movie and said, oh, this movie gonna be scary as hell because the villain looks scary than a mug, right? And then you watch the movie, even the movie bad or not scary at all, the design makes everything. A big part of solidifying your manga is also in the villains, not just your main characters. Your main character could look like Raiden from Metal Gear Solid. You feel me? But if your villain looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, you're done! You're done! Good villain designs really can take a manga a long way because a memorable villain makes a memorable arc. Because the whole pretense around a lot of manga art, especially because a lot of y'all do battle shonen, or a lot of people are interested in battle shonen, is the villain, right? The bad guy. A lot of people aren't doing man versus nature or man versus self. A lot of people are doing man versus evil force. So that evil force looks like he's about to go to the grocery store and he has to be there by 3 o'clock or his wife is gonna yell at him. You know, especially if you're talking about your traditional battle shonen where we're in some type of fantastical, mystical world, right? This isn't JoJo's or, you know, there's normal people who so happen to have, no. Because guess what? Those stands, they always look up the part. Yoshikage Kira, yeah, he looks like traditional business, but that stand don't look like that. That Killer Queen, he don't look like no average Joe. So make sure you got that pizzazz to your villain, all right? Because that pizzazz is gonna take a lot of things a long way. And how many times have you actually, watched the isekai? Come on. And the first villain that come out, he's some buff, bald dude, maybe with a mustache, or maybe it's your normal boot, and that traditional evil villain voice. You know what I'm talking about? That I'm gonna defeat you. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, man, he don't got no drip. He look trash, man. If this is a video game, I'm not selecting him. And this brings me to my next point. If we pull it back to presence, think about it like this. When you're creating your villains, think about it on the same basis that you would create a custom character in a video game, right? When you guys, if from all the Soul Calibur fans, if you guys are playing Soul Calibur, or from a WWE fans, if you guys are playing WWE SmackDown versus Raw, right? When you create your character, you going through every category. You making sure that your character, nobody gonna look like him, right? You got the hair certain color. You designing patterns. Do that with your villains. Have fun with it. That's when we create villains in PSS. A big thing that I always think about is, would I select this character in a video game? If I was a little kid and I was running past and I seen this and it was a toy, would I say, oh, that looks cool? Or if it's a real evil, menacing villain, oh, does that look scary? Does that look menacing? Does that look tough? You know what I mean? So you really have to play into that aspect of the design, right? Think of it on the aspect of, if I seen this for the first time, what would my impression be? You know how many times people, including me, have literally clicked on something because the main character looked cool, right? Or sometimes maybe because the villain looked cool. TikTok is taking over the world nowadays. How many times have you seen a good Sukuna edit? Sukuna looks badass. If Sukuna looked like goddamn the little purple dude off of My Hero Academia, you'd be like, man, I ain't watching no Jujutsu Kaisen. I ain't forget Jujutsu Kaisen. Your villain designs matter. Here's a big thing, right? You want to make sure that villain's design matches his personality. How would you feel if you turned on Naruto and Madara looked like Buggy from One Piece? You'd be like, man, cut this off. This is the villain they've been hyping up. But I never watched Naruto again. But for someone like Buggy, who, his villain turn, I guess good, but you know what I'm saying? Buggy, he's a comedical villain. So yeah, he looks like he's a clown. So it looks like a clown. So make sure that, no matter how cool, badass your villain's design looks, make sure that it matches what they are. If you're making a villain who's supposed to be part of some ancient society, or it was part of a clan of fairies or giants, make sure that they are completely encompassed still in that aesthetic, that it matches their personality background, but also that it looks like, damn, this is the king of the fairies, or damn, this is the ancient titan that they spoke about, right? If we take, for example, Purge Star Sagas is malignant. This guy, yeah, he don't even got a face, but you see him and you like, shit, who is this guy, right? That's what you want to really have. And the thing is that we really try to master Purge Star Sagas, especially with anyone's design, but most of all these villains or main characters, you want to make sure that it's hard to replicate. And if it's not hard to replicate, that is very rare that you see a design that matches this pattern, right? Malignant design, that's Warframe influence, right? It's very Warframe influence. But, you feel me? You don't see a lot of villains that look like Malignant. And if you see, I think the last person, or, I seen that looked like that was Tengen Toppa, right? Gurren Lagann. I think that's the last person I really seen that got that kind of essence broken up, fission, But you don't really see a lot of characters like that. If we have another villain coming very soon, in his design, man, I'm talking, bro looks like Jeff Hardy if he was in JoJo's, right? You want to make sure that these villains look one of a kind, right? That you see this villain and you're like, oh shit. How many times have you seen a Naruto? How many times have you seen a Goku? It's rare. You're not going to see too many people that got them that drip shit like that, right? How many times have you seen a Frieza? How many times have you seen a Cell, right? How many times have you seen a Sasuke Aizen? And I'm not talking about the, Sasuke Aizen with the glasses. I'm talking about, bro, pop out, hollow hole in his chest. My boy Grimmjow. And we talking about Grimmjow when he was in that Panthera form. How many people you see really like that? Okay? So make sure that your villain designs are definitely one of a kind. Hard to replicate and never before seen, okay? You take Sukuna, yeah, he ain't got the most complicated design, but how many people got 500 tattoos that have such an intricate geometry to them? Come on now. So, that's that. But I think most of all, you should really make sure that these villains have an insurmountable essence. No matter if your villain is tall, short, whatever they happen to be, make sure that villain sticks in the hearts of those who is supposed to touch. And that years down the line, they will be remembered. No matter if they have a big role, little role, right? If this is a villain in your story, they are meant to make the protagonist feel challenged. Make sure that it sticks with your reader. Because 9 times out of 10, if the visual didn't stick, the message probably didn't either. But with that said, guys, drop below in the comments your favorite villain design. The villain doesn't have to be great on his own. He can be a trashy villain. But drop your favorite design, guys. And let me know what you think about villain designs nowadays. So, hey, with that said, don't forget to check out Purge Sagas on Manga Plus Creators. It's already 2 free chapters out, and we're still debating whether or not we're going to give you chapter 2 of main PSS or the 3rd chapter of the prologue. You guys should probably let us know which one of the 2 you would prefer in comments. But nonetheless, go for our Purge Stars.